In this 2Metator tutorial, we're going to go over a couple ways to connect rooms in 2Metator. So right here we're looking at the room we created in the last tutorial. You don't have to use this room, you can use any rooms. I'm just using this one because we've already created it. So let's say I wanted to add a hallway here on the north wall of this room that we're looking at. Just going to zoom in a little bit. Now, one of these tools over here in the toolbar of the 3D window, the bottom tool is called a portal digger. So I'm going to select that. And a portal is essentially like a doorway between two different rooms in 2Metator. When we create a portal, it's going to create a transparent area or a area of no polygons that LoRa and enemies and whatnot can move through from one room to the other. So again, I have the portal tool selected, portal digger. When I first click on any of these polygons, it's going to start a selection. So I'm going to click and drag across those three sections of the wall. Now let me rotate this so we can see it a little better. Move it a little bit this way. So now that those three sections are selected using the portal digger, the next time I click on those, it's going to start to essentially dig a hole in the wall where those polygons are selected. So I'm going to click and start to drag, and you'll see I'm adding sections to this room. Let's add 6. There's 4, 5, 6. So when I rotate back, you'll see now it looks like there's a long hallway here. And we have a new section. This is actually a new room added. This is not just manipulating the polygons of this first room we were looking at. We now have a new room up here displayed in the 2D view where the sector options are. Down in the room options right below that, we can see how many rooms we have. So the new room that we built, that we just created, is automatically selected here. And then the name of it displays right here in room options. It's been automatically named by the editor to room 1, and then it in parens is dug in front because we used the portal digger to dig this room in the front section or the north wall. So if I drop down this menu, you'll see our first room is right up here above it in the list, called room 0. When I select that, the 2D view up here changes back to our original room. We can of course still see the second room we added over here in the 3D window. We can turn the display of this new room that we just built off if we don't want it shown here. Maybe we want to concentrate on editing our first room. You can turn off the draw all rooms and the draw portals. And now we're only looking at our current room that's selected in the sector options. I can still go to this menu and choose room 1. Now we're only seeing the new room that we built. You can turn these back on, of course, to display all or some of your rooms as you're editing. So that's one way to add a room or connect rooms in 2Metator. You can use the portal digger tool. But let's add a second room. I'm going to show you a different way to connect rooms. We're going to go to the 2D view to add our new room. So right now in the 2D view, we can see our two rooms. I can click on them individually. They will highlight red for whichever room I click on. It becomes active. You can see up here again in the sector options, it updates depending on which room I've selected. So I want to add a new room. You can use this plus button right here to add a new room. Now it added this really large room. Just like in one of the other tutorials, the previous tutorial to this one, I want to just crop this down. So I'm going to come up here and select in the 2D view of this room. I want it to be 9 faces wide and a few more faces than that deep. I'm not so concerned about the faces deep. So I'm going to select 9 faces across. So there's 9 across. Then I'm going to go down some. I want it to be a little bit rectangular. So let's try that. That should be fine. Then I'm going to click on the crop tool and OK that. So you can see now that room has been reduced. Now I can drag that up here. I want this to be at the end of the new hallway that we just created. So I'm going to drag that to the north face of the new hallway of this room. Now they're not connected yet. These rooms are not connected. You can see here, this line between the 2 rooms where there's a portal is dotted. So there is no portal between these 2 rooms yet. Because when I drag them together, you can see the line is solid. It's not dotted. So I just want to make these 3 faces. Let me select them right here. These 3 faces right in the middle of the room, of the wall of the room, I want to make those the portal that are going to connect to this room right here. So I have them selected right there. Then I can come up here and use the Add Portal button. Now you'll see as soon as I click that, this area of the 2D view turned black and this line became dotted. So let's go back to the 3D view. And you can see now all 3 of those rooms are connected and there's portals between the first room, the second, and the third room. So let's play test this real quick. Now you can see once the game is loaded and running, in addition to the small room we already built, textured, and lit in the last tutorial, we now have a hallway that Laura can run down, and of course a much bigger room that now she can run into. So we've connected rooms with portals in 2 different ways. That's it. That's the end of this tutorial. It's a nice short one. Just a couple quick ways to use portals to connect your rooms in Tomb Editor.